It's a difficult situation to get through. It can be very inconvenient to not have the staff that you need to operate at full capacity.
A $1.5 million mistake. That's the financial challenge tonight at a unique school for some of the most vulnerable students across our state.
The Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired relies on every tax dollar it can get to provide top-notch care to about 700 students each year and maintain its status as one of the best schools for the blind nationwide.
But as KXAN investigator Brittany Glass discovered, a major accounting error could now jeopardize future funding.
You can be what you want to be. Just open your eyes and see.
The weight of the keys under his fingers as he plays the piano. The sound of the notes they make. These are the senses Devin Gutierrez relies on.
A light can always be found. Woo. Music is how I interact with my world. Music is how I communicate.
The 20-year-old was born blind.
I'm only able to perceive color in a very basic, crude way.
He's part of the exit program at the Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
I've had some amazing teachers who have really encouraged my musical development and growth. Not just school, not just academic. Observe thusly, de la sandwich.
We work with our kids on teaching them daily living skills like cooking, cleaning, doing laundry.
By summertime, though, some of Gutierrez's instructors' jobs could be in jeopardy thanks to a $1.5 million budget mistake.
There would also be very limited to no opportunities for overtime, which we are reliant upon to get us through the summer months.
The problem wasn't discovered until last July. A one-time sum from the past inadvertently listed in this year's budget. Money that was already spent and no longer available. So far, cuts are being made to some summer programs, impacting some of the lowest paid positions at the school.
It was an accounting issue with the procedure that we had in place and just financial oversight by me. I'm responsible for everything that happens at this school.
But budget shortfall aside, Superintendent Bill Daugherty says the school would be fighting for more funding this session at the Capitol regardless.
So we're hoping that we have their attention this session. If they don't, we've got to reconfigure and we've got to start planning for our next opportunity in 2 years.
Instructors are lobbying too.
When it comes down to staying loyal to our students and continuing the work that we do here versus paying rent and eating 3 square meals a day, you know, those are difficult choices that people have to make.
I care about the staff especially because they're doing all they can to empower us. I want this school to be able to flourish. I want this school to not just be the best school for the blind in the country, but the best school for the blind in the world.
After 12 years as the superintendent on the 40-acre campus, Bill Daugherty is out. He's retiring. His last day is currently scheduled for August 1st. He told me, among other reasons, his wife has accepted a new job in North Texas where she'll start in August. He says it's time for him to follow her in this next stage. The board today recommended to replace Daugherty with the school's current outreach director. She's likely to start the last week of July to overlap with Daugherty by a week.
And Brittany, the superintendent says it wasn't just a matter of his oversight, right?
That's exactly right, Sydney. Daugherty says it's all in combination with some flat funding issues.
So how much has the TSBVI received over the years?
Well, here's a look at the numbers. This is what the superintendent is calling flat funding. You can see recent small, choppy funding increases from the state and federal government to maintain conditions on campus. That's what he says forced them to make what cuts they could. And in recent years, the state has given the school about $15 million in funding each year. They're asking for significantly more this session.
With this story online right now, we go further in depth. Brittany compares the funding for the TSBVI with the funding for the Texas School for the Deaf. There's a big difference in the money received the past 2 years. We break down the reasons why and take a look at attendance numbers at both schools. Just look under the investigation section at KXAN.com.